What is up, YouTube? Man, it's your boy Josh. I am back with another video for you guys. So look, today I wanted to make this video for a while, so I'm excited to finally sit down and be able to kind of give my story about my experience working for the United States Postal Service. Okay, so there's not too much videos out there about working for this company, and I kind of wanted to add my story to the pot. So let's get right into it. I'm hoping to make this into like a couple video series in terms of like I might start at the beginning here, more talking about my hiring process and how that came about for me. And then if people have feedback, comments, things they want to know more about, just leave it in the comments and I will surely get those videos out to you as soon as possible, sooner rather than later, that's for sure. So my hiring process was fairly simple. A lot of people talk about a long, drawn out process, and I don't feel like mine's was. There's a certain amount of steps that you have to go through before you can officially be on board. And I felt like mine was just boom, almost like dominoes in a sense. It was just one step after the other, and it didn't take too much time at all. And the reason being for that is that my score on the assessment, which you take after you apply, um, my assessment was as good as it can get. My score was amazing. When I saw my score, I felt real comfortable that people would call me back at the worst case for interviews. Okay. And that's what happened. I put my application into like a few different positions at a few different post offices in my general area. And they all called me back. So I had opportunities, I had options, and I met with a bunch of great people who offered me different things, and I ended up picking the opportunity that was best suited for my needs and what I wanted and what I was looking for. So I was very fortunate for that. And right after that, you do your uh, two levels of background checks. First, it's just a real basic one. Then, as you continue to go along, you do your drug test. You do another more in-depth background check. You gotta get your fingerprints taken. So after you do all your fingerprints, your background checks, they finally onboard you onto the job. So the first thing that they're gonna do is they're gonna send you to, I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but for us, it was what would be considered the main distribution plant in our area. And that's kind of where all the higher ups in the area, where all their offices were. And we had like a classroom setting, people from different areas of the job. So I was in an orientation with clerks, with city carriers, rural carriers, people who were going to be working in the distribution plant. And so you have all these different other job titles, and really what you're learning in this couple day orientation at the plant is like the history of the post office. They're giving you some of the terminologies and things that you might need to remember early on, especially kind of what they stand for, the core values of the company, and things of that nature. By the time you're done with the couple day classroom setting there, I feel like you'll know whether that's something you want to continue or not. A lot of people I've seen, whether it be stories on YouTube, forums, or even from my own personal experience, other people from other post offices who were in my orientation who didn't continue on after that. And that's fine, because it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, it's overwhelming, and not everyone is able to deal with that, and that's fine. So after, I had like maybe a couple days to myself after, knowing that I was preparing to go to another orientation, but this orientation, they break you up after, and I was going to orientation with people who were specifically doing my job task. And here's where I'm learning the ins and outs of what my specific job entails. So I went to New Hampshire. The company put me up in a hotel for a week, and at the same time while I'm doing all this, uh, my lady, she's pregnant. She's starting to swell up her feet. She's getting these aches and pains. And it was a tough time to have to be away. But, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So I say that to say it was hard to keep my mind here on the orientation with all this overwhelming information and learning things new in a fast pace, but also having my mind back home and wanting to make sure that the mother of my children is just as 100% mentally and physically well as possible at all times. So That was tough for me, but you got through it. It was a week. You were there, and I remember just doing the mock cases. You go and they teach you how to kind of hold the mail, how to put it up, what to look for, tips on how to do it faster in terms of like memorizing things, and uh, that was all real helpful information. They have people come in and uh, give stories about journey, how they started and where they ended up, people who started in the same role carrier position that we were getting ready to get into. And I remember just on the last day that I was there, my lady actually, just because we love each other so much, she wanted to see me so bad. I had a rental car. We had one vehicle. I took a rental car to New Hampshire. She took our vehicle. She had some time off of work, and she came down to, or I should say up. She came up to see me on my last day, and that day was kind of crazy. You know, we came home from New Hampshire, literally got home, and I remember she was just telling me, I don't feel good. I'm swelling up. Like, I don't feel right. We ended up going to the hospital that night, and her blood pressure was so high that it was scary. They rushed her to the hospital. We have a small hospital where we live. They rushed her in an ambulance to a big hospital where she stayed, by the way, for the next, what, over a month, 40 some odd days until we gave birth to our twins. So, just crazy times. And mind you, I'm at the hospital every day, sleeping there, going back and forth, dealing with the job. We were moving at the time, so dealing with the new job, moving, and having my lady with a severe high risk because we had twin girls, preeclampsia case, staying in the hospital. So this was a real tough time to be learning all this at the job. So after we left the orientation, like I said, we came home. She went to the hospital, and then things still had to continue for me. So it was on to the next step. Next step, I had to go back to the plant a couple days later and do my driving test. So you hop, it's like an obstacle course. You go around with the instructor and they're teaching you how to drive the LOV because it's right-hand drive. A lot of people have never done this before naturally. And so you have to learn. You're out on the road, you're going through obstacle courses, learning how to pull up to mailboxes, learning how to pull away from mailboxes, learning how to stay centered on the right hand side of the road because it's a whole new vision from that side, and also then, like, backing up, parking, and things of that nature, how to do the inspection of the LLV. So you're learning all of that. After I did my driver's course, I passed, and that was it. From there I pretty much was able to um, go right into work. Like, I think it was 2 days later I went in, and mind you, this is like I started, and it was like right in the beginning of the holiday season. So it was like October-ish, I want to say, maybe the beginning of November. So packages are starting to ramp up. Things are getting real busy at the post office, and I remember my first day just walking in, and I'm like wide-eyed because and we have a small office too. I've seen offices where there's a ton of different carriers, city carriers, rural carriers, people running around doing this, that, and the third. And I have a tiny office. So we have one aux route. Those of you who know about the post office know what I'm talking about. One aux route and one main route. So, and then the sub, of course, which I'm the sub. So our office is small. One clerk at the window, one postmaster. That's it. And I remember walking in, and the carrier who was working there, and who I was going to be relieving when she needed time off, was there for 15 years. And I learned, because I'm part of it now, when you work for the post office, you have to develop, like, everything is time based. So, um, really, you get in there and you're kind of on a routine. Boom, 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 boom. It's so fast paced. It's on the go, on the go, on the go. Boom, boom, boom. Put your mail, take it down, get your packages out, and get out on the road, right? Because you get paid for evaluation. Let's just say if your route is 9 hours evaluated, you get paid for 9 hours. So if you work 15 hours, you still only get paid for nine. However, if you get good and efficient at your job and you work 4 hours, which is obviously not realistic, probably more so like 5 or 6, you still get paid for the 9. So in some of the easier months, it may times of year, spring, summer, fall, beginning of fall, I should say, you probably can do that, and it feels like, hey, great, they're paying me for being out a couple hours early. However, in the winter time, and once the holidays start to pick up, um, you're in there 12, 13-hour days sometimes it feels like out there till, and the day gets shorter, so it's darker out fast, and you're just out there in the nighttime running around delivering packages in the cold, depending on where you live. And yeah, it was just real crazy in the beginning. I remember feeling like I took it as a challenge. Like my carrier was telling me things during training and saying I'll be out till all hours of the night and how hard the job is. And I remember after about 2 to 3 days in on the job, kind of watching her do what she does, I was already seeing ways how she was wasting time. And that's just a testament to how my mind works. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty bright, pretty intelligent. Um, and I figure out how to, work smarter, not harder, right? So at the end of the day, that's what I did. And now, over a year later, I'm still at the post office. I am just basically a beast. And I'm a beast. I get in, I get out, take my stuff to the street, get it done, don't mark my packages. A lot of the times, other than the holiday season this year, especially with it being COVID, the pandemic, holidays, everyone's home, everyone's ordering from home and to home. Uh, it's been real crazy this year, but for the most part, all year long, I just been beasting it out, and I'm just so grateful to still have the job. Are there things that I don't like? Yes, we can make videos about that and talk more about that. Are there things that I love? Yeah, because there's things that are right up my alley. I don't have to rely on other people. I get in, I do my job. I'm out on the road. I don't have no one breathing down my neck. I don't need someone else to do this for me to complete my task. I literally, my work ethic sets how my day is run. And that's what I love, I mean, realistically, I don't really want to work at all. Like my goal, especially hopefully doing this YouTube stuff, is to get out of working for other people and to be able to kind of just make a living doing what I really am passionate about and enjoy doing, which is communicating with you people about a variety of things. But the fact that I'm in this job now, it's been a blessing. It was the level up that I need. I feel accomplished. I feel a level of respect when I can tell people I work for the United States Postal Service. Everybody loves the mail carrier, and it's been a blessing to me. And throughout the whole time, my lady ended up having the twins early, of course. They were premature. They were born at 32 weeks, and they're almost a year now, and they're thriving. And with that being said, I'm going to end this video. So that was really just going over the hiring process, kind of the steps that it took, how long or short it was for me, and what the beginning stages of that was like. If there's anything that you guys would like me to talk more about, just please hop in the comments and leave it. I'll make another video for you guys, and we'll talk to you guys again soon, man. I got today off, which is rare during the holiday season, but I'll be right back at it tomorrow, getting those packages out, serving the people, serving my community. And until next time, y'all, it's been real. Peace.